and this week's theme, which is there is no limit to what we can accomplish as women and as mothers. So I want to talk to you about why I chose that quote for the week. Oh, okay. So Facebook just came on. All right. Either way, hey Facebook, hey Instagram. So as you can see from the title, we are talking about there is no limit to what we can accomplish as women and as mothers. And I'm going to be sharing with you the two keys to being able to really accomplish and create the life that you love, deserve, and desire, right? I'm going to share with you two ways that we can do that as women and as mothers. So that's where we are. If this is your first time joining me, hey, welcome to my space over here on the internet, my cozy space, and welcome to my world where women and mothers literally live their best life and show up as the best version of themselves because they let go of burnout and overwhelm, right? And we just boss up our life. So that's what we do over here with Cordelia Spence and her vibrant life. Let me just clean off this camera. So I hope that everyone's week has been going great so far. So if this is your first time joining me again, I'm Cordelia. And I am showing up here because this is one thing I really love to do. I teach overwhelmed yet ambitious moms how to put themselves first so that they can manage their family, their home, and their business without sacrificing self-care. If you've been following me for a while, or even if you haven't, the key is self-care. And my perspective on self-care, of course, is that it goes way beyond manicures, pedicures, spa dates, and flowers in the bath. To me, that is not actually self-care. That is self-maintenance and self-pampering. So if you continue to follow with me, I'll be sharing all the different ways of what equates to self-care and how we can use self-care combined with some support and systems so that you can really, again, create the life and business that you love, desire, and deserve. Okay? So, as I already said, we're talking about there's no limit to what we can accomplish as women and as mothers. And I truly, truly believe that. Okay, so a little background on me. Let me just share this out to a few people. And so if you are a mom who is looking to take the limits off, then this broadcast is for you. And go ahead and share this with the other moms and other women that you know who need to take the limits off. Because that's what I'm here to do. That's what we're doing together in this community, in this space. We are taking the limits off. So I'm sending this out to a few people. And we're going to go ahead and jump into the content. All right? So if you're here live, go ahead and drop in the comments where you're from so I can shout you out and see where you're from. All right, y'all know I'm from New York. If you can't hear it, now you know. I'm from New York, and yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, so I got this shared out. Everything should be working together and good. All right, so we're gonna hop right in. So this is what prompted me. So as you saw, if you saw my post on Monday, the post was basically this quote that I heard. I kind of I modified it a little bit, but it's a quote that I got from Michelle Obama. And her quote basically stated the same thing, that there is no limit to what we can accomplish as women and as mothers. And that post has resonated with me, of course, because that's what I believe, right? I believe that as women, we are very powerful. The fact of the matter is, as powerful women, hey, Mompreneur Success Academy, thank you for joining. So we are talking, I'm sharing some ways to help us take the limits off of our life as women and as mothers and move towards progress towards our goals, using, of course, self-care, intentional planning, and productivity. All right. So like I was saying, this quote resonated with me because that's a message that I feel like I've been screaming from the mountaintops for years. A little background about me. I am a homeschooling mom of 5 amazing, beautiful, awesome children, okay? Yes, I have 5 children. And I became a mother when I was 19. So let's start there. I became a mom at the age of 19. I had my first son. And my son, believe it or not, y'all, he is 19, going to be 20 in a few months. Oh my goodness. Woo! But I'm sharing this for a reason, right? So at 19, I gave birth, right? I dropped out of college. I was in my I got pregnant at 18. I started college when I was 17, so I was already ahead of the curve, right? I was the first one in my family to go to college, but here I go. I'm pregnant, I drop out, and I give birth to my son. And even at that moment, for me, I experienced a lot. That's when, to me, all of not just the negative commentary was, I didn't just hear that at the time, but I had internalized that for way before then, because that's when it started to come up for me. I started to think about all the things that I would not be able to do because now I'm a mom. And let me know in the comment section if you can relate to that thought process. Even if you did not become a mom at 19, even if you didn't drop out of college, did you ever think that because you are a mother that now you cannot live the life that you want, that you can't achieve your dreams? Let me know in the comment section if you can relate to that, because I know for me that was definitely something that was prominent. But once my son, once I really, of course, dove in and started learning on the go, right? They say build the plane while you're flying. It was like that for me for motherhood. I started doing things my own way, and I was like, you know what? I'm going back to school. Not only am I going back to school, I'm going to open up my business again. Back then, I was tutoring, I was braiding hair, I was doing a lot of things. Okay, I've always been like a serial entrepreneur, or that entrepreneurial mom. That's always been me in some way, shape, or form. I would cater parties, like all kinds of things. So I had made a decision that I was going to go back to school, even if that meant I had to start over from scratch. And I did that, right? But that was the first experience that I had with removing the limits. Now, that does not mean that I did not experience setbacks. That does not mean that I did not need a mindset shift. What that means is I'm able to look back at that experience and say, you know what, this quote applies to me. There is no limit to what we can accomplish, because not only did I go back to school, right? I graduated top of my class. I was valedictorian. Okay, I was very active on campus. I was president of the Black Student Union. I was in the Human Services Club. I was the leader of I actually helped form the gospel choir on campus. So we did that, performances. Then I moved on to my second degree, which was in social work. Same thing. I was an intern. I created programs within the family homeless shelter, as well as the Westchester Correctional Facility, working with fathers at the time involved in the criminal justice system, right? And I still graduated top of my class while raising my son, right? And then I went on to do my research, and then I got into my dream school. I got into Columbia University, right? Based on my research, I got a scholarship. So these are just some of the academic accomplishments that I had at that time. But what about the goals and dreams that we have for ourselves that maybe are outside of academia? Maybe it might be about starting a business. Maybe it's a passion project, right? Maybe it's buying a home. Maybe it is, again, launching a business or relaunching a business. Maybe it's, for me, finding a healthy, not finding, but being a part of a healthy relationship. Maybe it's elevating your health and your wellness. There's so many dreams that we might have as women, and if you're a part of this community, I'm sure you are ambitious, right? But sometimes, as I stated before, we get overwhelmed because we have these big dreams and big goals, and sometimes our circumstances might seem, it might appear that we cannot go after these things, but we can, right? This is the thing about that. There's several ways to accomplish what you want to accomplish as a woman and as a mother. Hey, Sunshine. Thank you for joining. So the thing about it is this. I'm trying to... There are several ways to accomplish something. Several ways. I might do something one way and it works. You might have a totally different approach and that works. What I view as necessary self-care for me in my daily routines is what I do. What you might view as necessary for your daily self-care routines is for you. So I'm saying this to say like that. I'm saying this to say that the limits a lot of times that appear to be there, preventing us from creating and living the life, again, that we love, that we deserve, and that we desire, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, as a witness, they're self-imposed. Ouch. Girl, I'm sorry. But they are self-imposed. You know why? Because you've heard me say this before. If you have the desire, that means you can have the desire. Whether you believe in God, higher power, universe, whatever you want to call it, God would not give you the desire, the goal, the ambition, the dreams, the vision. You wouldn't have it if you couldn't have it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let me know put it in the comment section. I wouldn't have it if I couldn't have it. You wouldn't have the dream if you couldn't have the dream. You wouldn't have the idea for a business if you couldn't have a successful business. You wouldn't have the desire to have a healthy, amazing relationship if you couldn't have a healthy, amazing relationship. You wouldn't have the desire to be a six-figure business owner while working part-time if you couldn't be a successful six-figure business owner working part-time. You wouldn't have the desire to be a hands-on homeschooling mom, a hands-on work-at-home mom, whatever it is. You wouldn't have the desire if you couldn't have the desire. So that is why that quote from Michelle Obama, like I said, I altered it a little bit to fit the community that I'm speaking to. That there is no limit to what we can accomplish as women and as mothers, because again, those limits are self-imposed. Because if you truly do believe in the power of creation, right? As women, we are the ultimate creators. We literally create, carry, grow, nourish, and deliver life. Okay? So we are the ultimate creators. So if you believe that you have the ultimate creative power, because if you're a woman, you do. It's naturally there. Right? If you believe in the ultimate creator, God, universe, highest divine self, whatever you want to call it, then is there really a limit to what you can accomplish? If you can literally give life, is there a limit to what you can accomplish? And I want you to answer that question. Let's answer the question. Hello, Alex Smith Sr. Thank you so much for joining. I want you to seriously ask yourself and then answer that question. Is there really a limit? Again, if you want to take it out of the woo-woo, out of the spiritual perspective, put it in the physical, scientific perspective. Is there really a limit to what you can accomplish as women and as mothers? It's not. Because we self-impose limits on ourselves, whether it is viable or not. But it's based on our experiences, based on the mindsets that we formed as young children, right? Based on sometimes our circumstances. Like you heard my story in the beginning. I had my child when I was 19. There was nothing, I was a single mom at 19. There was nothing that said that this woman right here that gave birth at 19 years old, dropped out of college, would be graduating multiple times as valedictorian at the top of her class, right? Going to an Ivy League school on a scholarship, right? Being here, homeschooling my children, managing my home, writing a book. I was just reading my book again today, y'all, just in case you didn't know. It's on Amazon. Have your tea and drink it too. And this correlates with today, of course. Hey, Mandy. How you doing? Thank you for joining. We're talking about there's no limit to what we can accomplish as women and as mothers. So, all of the outside commentary would say Cordelia can't do all those things. I said Cordelia can do all those things. However, once I was able to tap in and really look back at the things that I've already accomplished, I was like, wait, why am I limiting myself? And I don't know if you've seen my posts, but I do celebratory posts, right? I do the monthly celebratory posts, and I'm going to start posting more of my weekly celebrations, because those are not just for you to acknowledge what you've already done, but those are also the things that are the keys to helping you when things get a little bit hard, when that little voice of doubt starts to come in, right? That's when it's like, oh, wait, hold up. I'm thinking I can't do this. I can't go after this. I can't set this goal. But look what I did last week, last month, last year, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when all the odds were against me. Even now, I just had accountability call with my coach yesterday, and it was so, y'all. Oh, thank you, Mandy. Yes, I have the book, and I don't talk about it as much, and that's why this conversation is good, too, because this is part of me removing the limits, right? Removing the limits. Hey, Kara. Thank you for joining. So this is part of the process of removing the limits, right? Looking back at what you've already been able to do when the odds were against you. Having children, that's a major accomplishment, and it's not a dig or to take away from anyone that does not have children, but the fact that you are born a woman with the ability to create, to carry, to grow and deliver a whole life, that's powerful. So when we talk about the limits, right? Let me go get back into this, y'all. Let me know if you're with me so far. If you're with me so far, go ahead and drop a 1 in the comments so I know that you are with me, that you are following what I am saying, and that is connecting and resonating with you. Let me know. So, and I'm gonna look for those ones, y'all. I'm hot up in here. Okay, it's hot. It's hot, but it's all good. Yeah, so let's talk about these limits, right? I talked about the different types of limits. I talked about the limits that I self imposed, right, from way back when. Yes, Mandy, it is true. And I'm like, it's time for us to break out that mind frame. It's time for us to break out of those limits and to lift them. Because at the end of the day, people say the sky is the limit. I'm sorry, I'm not claiming no limits. I'm not claiming any limits. Is the sky really the limit? We have people up here trying to go to space or go into space. So is the sky really the limit? Or is that something that we're being told? So therefore we are internalizing that. Okay? I can only do this because I have children. I can only do this because I'm a woman. And because women get paid less in the workplace. I can only do this because I'm a black woman. I can only do this because I have locks in my hair. They're not going to receive me in certain spaces. I mean, the limits that we self-impose are limitless. We can always come up with an excuse of why we can't do something, why we can't accomplish something, even if there's valid reason where it might seem challenging. But challenge does not equal denial. Somebody drop that in the comment section for me and for you. Challenge does not equal denial. It's not the same thing. Something is challenging, yes. Something might need to change a little bit, yes, because challenge usually does come from change, or it means you need to change and adjust and pivot. But it does not mean denial. Challenge does not mean denial. So with that truth being there, okay, challenge does not equal denial. Yes, Mandy, challenge does not equal denial. It does not equal denial. And if you don't remember anything else from today's live stream, I want you to remember that. Because the truth is, life is going to happen. The truth is, everything is not going to go as planned. The truth is, because we are ambitious women, we're going to have big dreams and big goals, right? But it may not always look the way that we imagined. But challenge does not equal denial. And with that being said, if challenge does not mean equal denial, then that also means that challenge does not equal limits. It does not equal limits. So therefore there is no limit. Again, if you truly believe in God, the power of creation, if you believe in yourself, if whatever you want to believe in, even if you're spiritual or not, you would not have the desire if you could not have the desire. You would not have the dream if you could not see the dream to fruition. You would not have the vision if you could not see that vision come to pass in your life today. So, with that being said, there's several ways to reach your goal. I'll make sure I put some notes down here because y'all know I could talk about a whole bunch of stuff. It's all related, but I'm saying I can talk about a bunch of different examples, and I want to keep this under 30 minutes, okay? Because there's no limit. It's not a limit to what I can accomplish. Even as a person who likes to inspire and help and pour into others, there's still no limit, right? So yes, as I said, that limit is not necessary. The limit is self-imposed, it's self-created, and we have the power to remove it. Because again, life is not perfect. Life is not ever really going to be perfect, but what life can be is perfect for you. What life can be is what you create. What life can be is a life that you love. What life can be is a life that you desire. And in this particular community, because I work with women and mom entrepreneurs, that means your life and business can be what you desire. But the first thing you have to do is take the limits off. Okay, and that's where these two tips come in. So there are two ways to help you really align your life with the fact that there's no limit to what we can accomplish. This is the first way. It's going to be self-care. You know, I'm going to talk about self-care. I wrote a book on it. I'm a self-care enthusiast, a self-care expert, a self-care coach, and this is what I help other women and mom entrepreneurs do, right? Put yourselves first via self-care. And again, it's beyond, it's not manicures, pedicures, and spas. Self-care is way deeper. And self-care is what brings up the self-awareness. Because how many times do we go about in life, as we get older, a lot of times we forget about those dreams, right? We were dreaming big as a child. Do y'all remember? Let me know if you were like that as a child. Like, we had all kinds of dreams that may have sounded crazy. Like, I want to be a firefighter and a teacher and live on top of a castle in a mountain with a purple dog and a gray unicorn. Right? Big old dreams. We did not have any of those limits as children, but as we got older, started to experience certain things, we started to add limits within the realms of reality, because we know good and well we're not going to own no gray unicorn. Okay. But the point of the matter is this: when you prioritize self-care, meaning you're prioritizing your well-being and taking the responsibility for your for you basically being the best version of yourself from the inside out, that is what elevates and heightens your self-awareness. The self-awareness then allows you to reconnect and rediscover yourself. This is the reason why self-care is so important, and the reason why I am shifting my coaching to focus more on the personalized self-care, because that's when we get to dig deeper. I don't know if you've gone through the process already of becoming self-aware. There's levels to self-awareness, right? And levels to self-care. But as you go through that process, you start to reconnect with yourself. You start to reconnect and understand and really align with your vision, your true goals. What are your priorities? What are your needs for you to feel the best version of yourself, right? And when you have this in place, self-care to self-awareness to actual knowledge of self, that is how, again, you remove the limits. So the first way to removing those limits from the mental, the mind space that we have created is to prioritize self-care. Okay? And the second thing to do is to plan accordingly. Now, okay, I'm a planner mom. I got all the planners. This is my favorite one here, and we're gonna be doing a plan with me on Sunday, y'all, the 25th. You'll see a post about that. I'll walk you through my planning process. But when I say plan accordingly, yes, I use a paper planner, I use my phone planner, but what I mean is you literally identify how you're going to spend your time, energy, and focus to create what you want, to achieve your goals. That's why the self-care and self-awareness starts first, and then you can plan accordingly. That's when we'll start. Hey, Tyra, business bestie, how you doing, girl? So I'm sharing some ways that we can take limits off based on the quote that I shared earlier this week. There is no limit to what we can accomplish as women and as mothers. So the first way was with self-care, which leads to self-awareness, which leads to knowledge and alignment with yourself. In other words, your vision, your goals, your priorities, and your needs. Once you have that in place, then the second part is to plan accordingly. Planning, again, is not just about the tool of a planner. Planning is literally a way of practice. It's a way of showing up. It is literally the way that you make decisions, but it's according to what you want for your life. Okay? Think about it like this. Achieving your goals becomes more realistic when you can make it into a plan. And having a plan removes limits, because you're saying, okay, this is what I can do. This is what I'm going to do today. This is what I'm going to do next week. This is what I'm going to do next month. You know what I mean? And you're able to break your goals down, your desires down into smaller chunks. Therefore, you are removing those limits. Again, your limits can be coming from anywhere. But if they're self-imposed, they can be self-canceled, self-deleted, self-lifted. It's just about putting in that time and that work and getting the support that you need, right? Because it's not easy. This has been an ongoing part. Like I told you, I became a mom when I was 19. And to this day, I still sometimes have the challenge of limiting myself with what I can do, with how I can show up in my business, with what I can do with my family, with what I can do with my finances. All those things, it happens. But again, keeping in mind that challenge does not equal denial. If challenge does not equal denial, then what does challenge mean? It means pivot. It means adjust. It means plan. It means take a step back. It means chat and check in like we're doing right here. Okay, let me know if y'all with me so far, okay? Because we're coming to the end of it, but let me know. So, say, I'm going to plan for the life that I want. Let me know if you're going to plan for the life that you want. Plan for the life that you want. Okay? And that is the last part. Self-care and planning. And you put that together, you get the life that you love, desire, and deserve. That includes your business. That includes your family. That includes your home. That includes your health. That includes your happiness. That includes your relationships. That includes your beautiful, sexy body. That includes your red lip. Okay? That includes having a family day, a mom day, a self-care day. It includes all of that. It includes launching a business. Right? You get to have that. So, to wrap things up, keeping in mind that there is no limit to what we can accomplish as women and as mothers. There is no limit to what we can accomplish as women and as mothers. Because, why? Because we're women and because we're mothers. That's the basic reason, right? And also because what? There's several ways to achieve a goal. You just got to find out what works for you. And guess what? And I'm going to end this for real. But guess what? You know, sometimes we try things, right? We get all amped up and we try things. We take that step out and we try things. And sometimes the plan doesn't go accordingly, right? We plan accordingly, but things don't always go as planned. Does that mean that life is over? Does that mean that life is over? Does a baby stop trying when they fall? Do the baby stop trying to walk when they fall? No. They get up and they try again. Why? Because they have a goal. The goal is, I'm going to stand up on these two legs and use these feet to go to my destination. I just find sometimes there's so many great lessons when we look at children, because a lot of times they don't have those limits already. We put the limits. Right? Moms put up gates to block the children from going to certain places. The babies don't do it. If you let them run free, don't put a gate, they'll be all over the place. Right or wrong? So that's another example of the imposed limitations that can come from yourself, but also that come from the outside. And that's why this space and this time that we're spending together, and even that we can spend together, I'm opening the doors to my self-care project. So I'd love to have you join me. I'll talk more about that in a minute at the end. But that's why this is so important, because it's about reprogramming and changing what we're here, what we take in. It's about releasing those limits, releasing that negative self-talk, releasing the limiting mindset. It's about reconnecting with who you are and who you desire to be. Really, whoever you desire to be, you already are. But that's another conversation, another live stream for another day. All right? So, if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any questions about what we talked about, basically, or if you don't have any questions, just go ahead and just drop it. Let me know that you affirm this. That you affirm that there's no limit to what you can accomplish as a woman and as a mother. And another reason why I'm talking about this is because, like I said, I'm opening up the doors to my 6-week self-care project, okay? That is the high-level small group program that I'm going to have. So if you've been wanting to work with me in some capacity, maybe one-on-one the opportunity wasn't there, there's no limit. You know why? Because I'm opening the doors to the small group coaching program. All right, and it's called the Self-Care Project. The reason why, because again, if you're in my community, you are an ambitious mom or an ambitious woman, right? You have dreams. So we work on projects. So I'm like, the biggest project, the best project you could work on is the project for yourself. So that's what it's called, the Self-Care Project. And then in there, we're going to work together. So just go ahead and DM me, and we can talk about whether this group program will be a good fit for you. It's going to start in August. And I'm so excited because, listen, we're going to come out these 6 weeks real powerful. We're going to come out these 6 weeks without the limits and with a personalized plan for our life, for our business, for our families, for our home. And yeah, just DM me, and look forward to also some more posts about it. Because the more I open it up, I'm only accepting a limited number of women in this program, because again, I really like the intimacy, and we're going to dig down into some stuff, but it's going to be fun, it's going to be amazing, you're going to have support. So yes, DM me the word self-care, and we'll talk about if the self-care project is for you. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off because, see, there's no limit. I said 30 minutes, and what are we at? 30 minutes and 27 seconds. It's all good. I'm going to have to go ahead and give it a pat. Give it a pat. I did the 30 minutes, and I was able to talk about something that I'm passionate about within that time frame. All right, y'all. So if you don't have any questions, that's all good. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay and just let me know, whether you're live or replay, let me know what was the main takeaway from today's live stream. What was your main takeaway? Because I'd love to continue that conversation. And it also lets me know, what resonates and what connects with my community. Because, listen, I'm here with you, for you, because we are doing this together. We are taking these limits off through holistic self-care, intentional planning, and of course, we're going to be setting our goals and reaching them. All right? So if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and log off. Make sure you let me know what your takeaways are. And again, DM me the word self-care if you want to learn more about the self-care project. All right? With that being said, you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all next time.